I shared on this channel about the UK government's plan to stop students from switching from a student visa to a skilled workers visa until they have successfully completed their studies. This means that you have to wait until you receive a letter or an email from the university that states that you have completed your studies or your program before you can apply for a skilled workers visa. If you apply for a skilled workers visa without waiting for that email or letter from your university, your application will be refused or denied. And you know that that visa fee will not be refunded. Now, the question many people have been asking is it possible to switch from a dependent visa to a skilled workers visa when your partner is still studying? That question is valid. If you're seeing me for the first time, my name is Cynthia. I share information that will help your transition into the UK to be as smooth as possible. So subscribe to my channel, like, share, so that you can keep getting updates like this. Let's get into this video. I'm going to read an update on the government website pertaining to switching to a skilled workers visa. It states who can switch to the skilled workers visa and who cannot switch to the skilled workers visa. It says you might be able to apply to switch to a skilled workers visa if you are already in the UK on a different type of visa. Well, good. So it says your partner or child's visa will not automatically switch to this visa if you switch yours. If you do not switch their visa, it will be valid until its original end date. Now, if went further to say they can either apply at the same time as you or at any time before your current visa expires. So this one clearly states that you can actually switch to the skilled workers visa. But to be able to find out who can switch and who can't, let's read further. It says, who cannot apply to switch to this visa? You cannot apply to switch to this visa if you are currently in the UK on a visit visa, on a short-term student visa, on a parent of a child student visa, on a seasonal worker visa, on a domestic worker in a private household visa, on immigration bill, because you are given permission to stay outside the immigration rules, for example, on compassionate grounds. If you are one of the following listed above, you must leave the UK and apply for a skilled workers visa from abroad if you are in one of these categories. As we have gone through this, you can see that a dependent does not fall under this list. So, as a dependent, you can actually switch to a skilled workers visa while your partner is studying. It goes further to explain eligibility. It says you must meet the following requirements. Your job meets the eligibility requirements. Please go to that link. I'm going to put it in the description box. Go to that link and read all the requirements thoroughly. Don't think, oh, I already know what is going to say. No, read about the requirements thoroughly so before you put in your application. Next point there says you can speak, read, write, and understand English. Again, you need to read thoroughly what English requirement you need in order to put in that application. Also, it says if you are currently in the UK on a student visa, you must also meet one of the following requirements. You have completed the course you were sponsored to study. Your job start date is after your course has finished. You have studied for a PhD for at least 24 months. So as you can see here, it's official, guys. It's official. The law has been enacted. And the date this was made official was on 17th of July 2023. As a student, you cannot switch to a skilled workers visa until you have completed your course in the university. If you are a PhD student, you can switch after 24 months of pursuing your studies. With this being said, I suggest you explore the option of getting a skilled workers visa if you're a dependent. It can reduce the pressure on your family because as a student, you have only 4 months after you must have completed your studies, to stay in the UK. It means your visa will expire in 4 months. And to be sincere with you, it's very difficult to secure a certificate of sponsorship in 4 months. It is really, really hard to do that. I always tell people in our community that you should start your job search before you come into the UK, not 7 months before your studentship expires, not 6 months before your student visa expires. No, you should start before you come into the UK. You should check whether your job is on the shortage occupations list. You should check whether it's on high demand. You should find out whether there are some qualifications you need to top up on your masters in order to land that job you desire. When you plan yourself properly, you won't be so much under pressure to get a COS if your dream or your desire is to settle in the UK after you complete your studies. I've always shared a lot of resources on my channel pertaining to this. If you're struggling to get a COS, check out the video here. Look at it, go through every point I've given there and try to execute all the instructions there. Trust me, you're going to get that job you desire. What this means is that immigration policies keep changing. You should always prepare yourself for changes like this. If you're coming into the UK this September 2023, I think you have the opportunity to bring your dependents. And this means that if you plan yourself properly, you would avoid the pressure that many people go through. Many people come in, but you don't notice that a lot of people still go back to their home country because they couldn't get a certificate of sponsorship. When your dependent comes into the UK and actively pursues a job to get a COS, what happens is that once he or she applies for a skilled workers visa and it gets approved, you can just relax and do your studies. So when you complete your studies, maybe it's a master's or a PhD, then you can apply to be a dependent of your partner who has a skilled workers visa. It makes things a lot easier for you as a family, especially if you're coming in with kids that need some level of stability. I will suggest you explore this option if your dream is to settle in the UK after you have completed your studies. If you're interested in some strategies, more proactive measures to get a certificate of sponsorship, you have to stay glued to this channel because I share information and strategies that have worked for so many people all over the UK. The immigration story is a very vital story and is an empowering story when people work very hard to, get a better life, maybe a better future, maybe perhaps better health care. I share a lot of information on this channel. So I will encourage you to subscribe, like, share so that I can keep getting updates like this. These updates will help you make better decisions so that you can achieve your dream of coming to the UK, and it will take the pressure off you. So many people have been asking, when will the increment proposed by the government on IHS and visa fees start? Nobody knows. Don't listen to anybody telling you that, oh, I know which day it's coming. Nobody knows for sure. I will put the link to this update in the description box so that you can look at it and analyze what documents you need to complete this switch from dependent to a skilled workers visa. I wish you the best. I'm rooting for you. Bye-bye.